take a breath, not to relax but to arrive. Because what you're about to hear is not information, it's a reminder. From the moment you were born, the world taught you how to survive, how to adapt, how to endure, but it never taught you how to remember. How to remember who you were before fear shaped your choices, before urgency became your language, before survival became your identity. This is not about rejecting life, it's about reclaiming it. So as you listen, don't rush to agree or disagree, just notice what resonates. Because remembrance doesn't come from learning something new. It comes from recognizing what was never lost. Let's begin. You were trained to wake up early, not because your body needed rest, but because time was waiting to be sold. You were taught how to hurry, how to obey clocks, how to chase numbers, how to measure your worth by productivity. From a young age, survival became the lesson. Pass this exam, get this job, earn this amount, avoid falling behind. But no one ever sat you down and asked you a deeper question. Who are you when nothing is required of you? No one taught you how to listen inward. No one taught you how to sit in silence without feeling guilty. No one taught you how to recognize the quiet voice beneath the noise of the world. This is not an attack on survival. Survival is necessary. Survival keeps the body alive. But survival was never meant to be the final destination. You were taught to survive, not to remember, and remembering changes everything. From the moment you enter the world, the training begins. Sit still, raise your hand, follow instructions. Don't ask too many questions. Your curiosity is slowly replaced with compliance. Your imagination is trimmed down to fit into acceptable boxes. School does not ask you what fascinates your soul. It asks how well you can repeat information. Work does not ask if you feel alive. It asks if you can perform. And so survival becomes normal. Wake up tired, rush through the day, sleep exhausted, repeat. Most people call this life, but it is only maintenance. A system that prioritizes survival over self-understanding creates efficient workers and disconnected humans. You learn how to earn, but not how to be. You learn how to compete, but not how to listen. And slowly, without noticing, you forget that life was meant to be experienced, not endured. A human who remembers is not easy to control, because remembering creates pause, and pause creates choice. A person who remembers does not blindly follow. They ask why. Why am I rushing? Why am I afraid? Why am I chasing this life if it doesn't feel like mine? Systems thrive on distraction, on urgency, on fear. A remembering mind is calm, and calm people cannot be manipulated easily. That is why silence feels uncomfortable. That is why stillness is labeled lazy. That is why rest feels undeserved. Because a quiet mind starts to notice truth. And once you see clearly, you cannot unsee. Remembering threatens systems built on forgetfulness. So you are kept busy, entertained, distracted. Not because you are weak, but because remembering would return your power. You were not born lost. You were not born confused. You were not born disconnected. Watch a child. They are present. They feel deeply. They ask endlessly. They exist without apology. Then life happens. You are told to quiet down, to behave, to fit in, to stop dreaming so loudly. Moments of shame teach you to hide. Moments of rejection teach you to perform. Moments of pain teach you to disconnect. And slowly, the world introduces you to a version of yourself that is easier to manage. You forget not because you chose to, but because forgetting felt safer than being fully seen. The forgetting is not failure, it is protection. But protection that lasts too long becomes a prison. Survival mode is reactive. You are always preparing for what might go wrong, always bracing, always rushing. In survival mode, decisions are made from fear. Fear of lack, fear of judgment, fear of falling behind. Living mode is different. Living mode is responsive, present, intentional. It asks, does this align with me? Not, will this keep me safe? Survival keeps you alive. Living makes you whole. Most people survive for decades without ever truly living. And deep down, they feel it. That quiet dissatisfaction, that constant restlessness. That is not ingratitude, that is remembrance trying to surface. Even when the mind forgets, the body remembers. It remembers trauma. It remembers fear. It remembers moments when it learned to tense, to brace, to hold its breath. That is why silence feels uncomfortable, because the body begins to speak. Breath slows the noise. Stillness opens memory, not memory of events, but memory of truth. Your body remembers what safety feels like, what presence feels like, what peace feels like. And when you return to the breath, you are not calming down. Even when the mind forgets, the body remembers. It remembers trauma. It remembers fear. It remembers moments when it learned to tense, to brace, to hold its breath. That is why silence feels uncomfortable, because the body begins to speak. Breath slows the noise. Stillness opens memory, not memory of events, but memory of truth. Your body remembers what safety feels like, what presence feels like, what peace feels like. And when you return to the breath, you are not calming down. You are remembering a state that was always yours. Remembering is often misunderstood. It is not nostalgia. It is not wishing for childhood. It is not escaping responsibility. Remembering is returning to awareness. Not who you used to be, but who you are beneath conditioning. You don't remember by changing cities, changing jobs, or changing people. You remember by slowing down enough to notice what has always been present. The mind searches outward. Remembering happens inward. And the deeper you go, the quieter it becomes. Truth is simple, but simplicity is frightening to a mind addicted to noise. Fear does not only protect you from danger, It protects the illusion. Fear keeps you moving, questioning less, listening less. Fear whispers, "Don't stop. Don't sit. Don't look too closely." Because the moment you pause, the illusion begins to crack. Fear guards the doorway to remembrance, not because truth is dangerous, but because truth dissolves false identities. The mind fears remembering because remembering changes priorities. And once you see clearly, you can no longer live unconsciously. Fear fades when awareness arrives. There comes a moment quiet, unspectacular when you stop running, not because life becomes easy, but because running becomes exhausting. You stop chasing approval. Stop rushing toward imagined futures. Stop escaping the present moment. And for the first time, you sit. Stillness feels uncomfortable at first. The noise resurfaces. The thoughts grow louder. But if you remain, something shifts. Stillness reveals what movement was hiding. And in that pause, you remember something ancient. Stillness is not laziness, it is rebellion. Most people do not fail to remember because they are incapable. They fail because remembering costs comfort. Remembering challenges routines. It questions beliefs passed down without examination. It dissolves identities built for approval. For many, survival feels safer than truth. It is easier to stay busy than to sit with silence. Easier to follow a path than to ask where it leads. Remembering is subtle. There are no fireworks, no announcements. Instead, you notice small shifts. You crave silence more than noise, depth more than entertainment. You begin to observe your thoughts instead of obeying them. You feel less interested in proving yourself. Loneliness appears, not because you are alone, but because alignment narrows circles. You may feel misunderstood, less reactive, more present. These are not symptoms of isolation. They are signs of return. Remembering does not make you louder, it makes you clearer. At some point, you realize you no longer fit where you once belonged. The jokes feel empty, the conversations feel rushed, the values feel borrowed. This is not arrogance, it is awareness. You didn't outgrow people, you outgrew unconscious patterns, and growth is rarely shared at the same pace. So you begin to walk differently, speak less, choose carefully. Others may say you've changed. They are right. But what they don't realize is that you didn't become someone new. You remembered who you always were. Remembering is not an event. It is a discipline. The world constantly pulls you outward, noise returns, distraction tempts. So you must return again and again, through stillness, through honest observation, through choosing truth over comfort. Some days you forget again, and that's okay. Remembering is patient. It does not demand perfection, only presence. Each moment you pause, breathe, and listen inward, you return. And over time, what once felt fragile becomes rooted. You are no longer remembering occasionally. You are living from remembrance. Money was never the enemy. Work was never the problem. Forgetting yourself in the pursuit of them was. Money is a tool. Work is an expression. But when survival becomes identity, work becomes bondage and money becomes meaning. You begin to trade your time for validation, your energy for approval, your presence for security. Remembering does not mean abandoning responsibility. It means refusing to disappear inside it. You can work without losing awareness. You can earn without selling your soul. The question is not, how much do I make? The question is, who am I becoming while making it? Use money. Do not let money use your memory. As remembering deepens, life simplifies, not because things disappear, but because illusion falls away. You begin to value breath over busyness, presence over performance, depth over noise. Nature starts to feel familiar again. Silence feels nourishing. Truth feels gentle. You realize that peace was never complicated. It was buried under expectations, comparison, and constant movement. The simplest truths are the hardest to accept because they require nothing to prove. You don't need to become more. You need to remember what you never lost. At some point, a realization settles in quietly. You were never lost. You were distracted. You were conditioned. You were taught to look outward for what could only be found within. The feeling of being lost was not absence. It was misdirection. You didn't lose yourself. You buried yourself under survival roles. And once you see this, self-forgiveness arrives. Not as an idea, but as relief. You stop blaming yourself for the years spent asleep, because you finally understand. You were doing the best you could with what you were taught. Not to change the world, but to live honestly within it. Once you see clearly, you cannot unsee. You may be tempted to return to old distractions, to fit back in, to forget again. But pretending becomes heavy, so you choose again and again. To pause instead of rush, to listen instead of react, to live from awareness instead of fear. This choice is quiet, daily, uncelebrated, but it reshapes everything. Survival kept you alive. It taught you endurance. It taught you resilience. It carried you through difficult seasons. Honor it. But do not mistake it for the destination, because beyond survival is remembrance, and remembrance does not add anything to you. It removes what never belonged, until what remains is simple, present, and whole. You were taught to survive, and survival served its purpose. But remembering is what brings you home. If something in you stirred while listening to this, it is not because this message is new. It is because you already knew. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are remembering. If this resonated with you, I invite you to stay. Subscribe to Earthly Tone Thought here on YouTube. This channel is not about trends, noise, or quick answers. It is a space for those who feel functional but disconnected, successful but unfulfilled, alive but not fully present. We don't rush here. We don't shout. We remember. Share this with someone who is surviving silently. And until the next reflection, return to yourself.